FRAMO submerged cargo pumping system for tankers was developed in the beginning of the 1960s and is today in operation on approximately 800 ships worldwide. This instruction video shows the FRAMO cargo pumping system on board MS Stolt Markland, one of Stolt-Nielsen's 4 new buildings at Kleven, Florø, Norway. The ship is a 29,999 tons of deadweight chemical oil product tanker, fitted with 39 FRAMO stainless steel hydraulic-driven submerged cargo pumps, type SD-150, two submerged pumps, type SD-100 for deck tanks, one FRAMO portable cargo pump, two FRAMO ballast pumps, as well as bilge pumps and fuel oil transfer pumps, all driven from a centralized FRAMO designed hydraulic system. The hydraulic system is also driving the deck machinery. The ship is also equipped with vapor return line for safe cargo handling. Operation of FRAMO cargo pump. This video will highlight operation of FRAMO cargo pumping during loading, discharging, stripping, tank washing. Furthermore, 10 important rules for preventive maintenance. Loading the ship through the cargo pump. The FRAMO cargo pump can also be used as a drop line. To avoid pressure peaks in the pump housing and pipe stack, it is very important to start the loading slowly with the cargo valve only partly open. This will also reduce the mixing of air cargo in the tank. When the cargo pump's discharge line is completely filled, open the cargo valve to maximum open position. Remember, maximum loading pressure is 8 bar at the pump's top cover plate. Also, when using a separate drop line, as we have on this ship, we recommend to start loading slowly through the pump only, until the level is above the drop line outlet, or after the so-called 1-foot sample is taken. We normally recommend to open up the drop line valve and continue loading through both the pump and the drop line. Discharging, starting and running of FRAMO cargo pumps. It is assumed that the hydraulic system is vented and free from air, that the cargo pump's cofferdam is purged, and that the hydraulic oil temperature and main system pressure is correct. If the oil temperature is below 30 degrees Celsius, circulate the oil through the heating valve. One, start the cargo pump, moving the control handle slowly until the pump starts rotating, and run with hydraulic pressure 30 to 50 bar for about 2 or 3 minutes. Keep the cargo valve closed. 2. Raise the cargo pump pressure to above shoreline pressure before opening the cargo valve. This to avoid backflow over pumping. 3. Also open the stripping valve between pump and discharge line. Keep the stripping valve open for approximately 5 minutes to get rid of the air pocket or gas pocket trapped in the stripping pipe. This to avoid pulsation, vibration in the cargo pump. 4. Follow the same procedure for cargo pump number 2, 3, 4 and onwards. Be sure that enough hydraulic oil is available for the cargo pumps. If not, the cargo pump speed will drop and capacity head will be reduced. 5. The shoreline back pressure will increase when more cargo is pumped through the line. To clarify the above, we have to look at the performance curve for the cargo pumps. This is a typical performance curve for one centrifugal cargo pump. We have the pump capacity in volume per hour this way, and the discharge pressure in meter liquid column this way. Maximum discharge head gives minimum pumping capacity. This is the height we are going to lift up the cargo to, called static lifting head. Then we have the dynamic pressure drop in the delivery line. This curve is very important for the vessel's discharge rate and is a function of the flow and the line's diameter. When starting up another cargo pump, we will have these performance curves for 2 pumps running in parallel. 3 cargo pumps in parallel will have these 3 curves. And the capacity will be like this. When starting yet another pump, the capacity will not increase because we have reached the maximum delivery pressure, and the pump should be stopped because it is only wasting energy. If the shoreline's diameter is reduced, the dynamic pressure drop will change like this. And we can see that the capacity with 3 pumps through the larger shoreline is higher than with 4 pumps through the smallest. So the rules for parallel pumping are: start the number of pumps until you reach maximum allowed pressure in the shoreline. This is often the normal discharge situation. Start the number of pumps until you reach the cargo pump maximum head. If the manifold pressure does not rise, it is no use to start more cargo pumps. Combination of big pumps, high capacity, low discharge pressure and cargo with higher vapor pressure increases possibilities for cavitation at low tank level, leading to vibrations and possible damage of the cargo pump. If the cargo pump starts vibrating and/or cargo pressure and/or hydraulic pressure starts pulsing, open stripping valve for some minutes. If the vibrations or pressure pulsing continues, the pump is cavitating and the capacity must be reduced by A. Reducing pump speed, or B. Increasing discharge head by throttling cargo valve, or C. Reducing pump speed in combination with B. Generally, pump capacity should be controlled by the pump speed, not by throttling the cargo valve. Always reduce cargo pump speed or capacity if pump starts vibrating, especially at low discharge heads. Stripping. When the cargo tank is nearly empty, we are in the stripping condition. Reduce the pump speed when pump starts to cavitate or lose suction, indicated by vibrations and/or hydraulic pressure pulsations. Empty the tank at reduced pump speed, that is, reduced pump capacity. Throttling of cargo valve may improve the stripping results. When the cargo pump sucks air, close the cargo valve. Start stripping of the cargo pump by opening the stripping valve with air or inert gas connected. Always strip against lowest possible back pressure. Cargo pump speed during stripping depends on discharge line back pressure and the purging medium pressure. If the pump speed is too low, we might blow the cargo through the pumping impeller, or if the pump speed is too high, the losses of the wearings will increase. Or, in the worst case, you might even pump the cargo back into the air inert gas line. Ideal stripping speed must therefore be based upon experience on board. Purge until air breaks through the impeller, indicated by a booming noise in the cargo tank and a hydraulic pressure drop. It is essential for the stripping result that the cargo valve does not leak and that the pump's wearings are in good condition. Close stripping valve. Stop purging and stop the cargo pump. Check pump's cofferdam. Tank washing. To avoid dry running, cavitation of the cargo pump during tank washing, reduce pump speed to match tank cleaning machine's capacity. Flow into tank and flow out of tank must be equal. Remember to flush the pump with fresh water if seawater has been used for tank cleaning. Discharge of cargo heated by deck-mounted heater. When using FRAMO pumps for circulating cargo through deck-mounted heaters, heating should be stopped during discharging. A normal cargo temperature drop will be approximately 1 to 2 degrees per 24 hours, and the corresponding increase in viscosity will not cause any problem for the submerged pump. Never try to balance heating, discharging by pumping some of the cargo ashore and some through the heater and back to tank. The efficiency will be extremely low, leading to a drastic increase in discharge time. 10 rules preventive maintenance. 1. Purge the pump's cofferdam before and after using the pump. NB. Make sure that the cargo pump's cofferdam is open, that is, air is coming out of the exhaust trap. 2. If air is used as purging medium, drain airline for possible water condensation regularly. 3. De-aerate the hydraulic system on a regular basis. Avoiding air in the system will increase the component's lifetime. 4. Check the pressure drop over the filters. Maximum delta P is 1 bar. 5. Take oil sampling every 3 months, including particle counting according to ISO 4406. 6. Never mix the hydraulic oil with other brands of lubricating oil. 7. To adjust pump capacity, regulate pump speed instead of cargo valve. 8. Check the cargo pump's condition against the performance curve once a year. 9. Never start dismantling of any cargo pump or other component in the system before you know if, what and where you have a problem. Pressure test the cofferdam in order to detect leakages. Ten. Cleanliness is absolutely necessary.
FRAMO1 RS is located in Bergen, Norway, and has long tradition as the leading supplier of submerged cargo pumps to the world tanker market. FRAMO Research and Development Department is working continuously, upgrading the pump design to meet all the newest international rules and regulations. Before you are entering the cargo tank for servicing the cargo pump, always close the hydro pressure inlet valve, purge the cofferdam, and be familiar with the ship's safety rules. Also pick up the number of standard tools you need for the service job from FRAMO Toolbox. Before you start the service job, study the cargo pump service manual carefully, description and drawings. We will now show you how to dismantle the new cargo pump SD125 or SD150 design number 5. Sequence number 1, dismantling of impeller and wear rings. Start with dismantling of the pump support ring. The pump support ring is a new design, easy to clean, and will also improve the stripping result. Loosen the bolts, lift and secure the support ring to the pipe stack. Use a rope for securing. Loosen the bolts for upper wear ring support. Then loosen the bolts for impeller hub, 2 turns only. Turn the impeller clockwise for easier access and better working condition for loosening the bolts. Press down the bolts and pump impeller. When the pump impeller is loose, remove the bolts. Then remove bolts between volute casing and cargo leg. Change 2 of the bolts with lowering, lifting bolts. 1 bolt in each leg. Remove rest of the bolts on cargo flange and also between volute casing and bearing housing. Finally, the volute casing, suction cover and pump impeller is now hanging in the lowering, lifting bolts, diagonally positioned on each cargo leg. To avoid damage on the tank top, use plastic strips when sliding out the unit. Lower the whole unit down carefully. Turn the lowering, lifting bolts in parallel. Slide the unit out of the well. Remove the upper wear ring and inspect it carefully. Remove the seal element and the O-ring between impeller and impeller hub. This is normally parts fit for further use, but have to be controlled and clean before assembling. The next step is to turn the unit upside down. The suction cover and the impeller can now be dismantled and the parts can be inspected. Pay special attention to the wearings. Normal radial clearances when new are approximately 0.2 millimeters. We recommend to change the wearing if the radial clearance is more than approximately 1 millimeter. Loosen the locking bracket and remove the locking ring. Use the suction bell mouth to lift out the suction cover. And finally, lift up the pump impeller. Changing of wearings is a service job normally done by the crew on board. How frequently depends primarily on type of cargo. Some ships discharging cargo with a lot of sediment may have to do this job several times per year, while others carrying only clean oil products may run for 5 to 10 years before doing any service work on the cargo pump. Sequence number 2. Dismantling of double cargo lip seal and cofferdam seal. First, dismantle lower part of cofferdam check pipe. Then dismantle the impeller hub from the pump's shaft. For demonstration, we are here using a mirror showing how to loosen the lock washer, remove the bolt, and pull out the impeller hub. Impeller hub is pulled out by using extractor from FRAMO toolbox. Be very careful not to damage O-rings and ceramic sleeve. Install assembling cylinder to keep the ceramic sleeve in place and to protect the sensitive lips on the lip seals. Pull down the seal ring housing with cargo seal. The Teflon seal element is sometimes hanging on the bearing housing and must be removed and controlled. Dismantle the cargo seal. Inspect the parts and change if necessary. FRAMO single cargo seal must also be dismantled. Changing of cargo seals is also a normal service job on typical wear and tear parts, normally done by the crew on board. We recommend to change both the single and double cargo seal together, and they are now delivered as one spare part. Take away the assembling cylinder and pull out the ceramic sleeve and check the parts carefully. The ceramic sleeve must be handled very carefully as it is brittle and may crack if dropped or mishandled. If necessary, it is also possible to change all rotating parts in the cargo pump when the pump unit is still hanging on the pipe stack. Sequence number 3. Dismantling of mechanical oil seal or other remaining rotating parts in the cargo pump. The mechanical seal can be dismantled without draining the hydraulic oil from the pump stack. The easiest way to dismantle the mechanical seal is first to remove the bearing housing from the pump casing. When the unit is dismantled, turn it upside down and remove the upper seal ring housing and then the stationary parts of the mechanical seal. Use 2 lifting bolts to take out the mechanical seal. Carefully control the stationary part of the mechanical seal and the Teflon seal element. Pull out rotating part of mechanical seal by using the special tool from FRAMO toolbox. Pay special attention when twisting on the tool for lifting out the seal's rotating parts. Control the sea face carefully. If the seal faces are destroyed, fretting or grooves in the surface, they normally can be reconditioned. Remember, never use grease on the O-ring on the stationary seat. Use soapy water. If it should be necessary sometime in the future to dismantle the pump shaft, ball bearings and backstop unit, this can easily be done by following the instruction in the service manual. The same applies for the hydraulic motor, but remember, before dismantling the hydraulic motor, you have to drain the hydraulic oil from the pump stack. To reduce oil spill to a minimum, use the small air-driven drain pump delivered by FRAMO. Then lower the hydraulic motor by using a FRAMO jack, and the cargo pump is now dismantled completely. Sequence number 4, assembling sequence. All assembling has to be done in reversed way according to the dismantling procedure. On this pump design, we will ask you to pay special attention to the ceramic sleeve and to the cargo seals. The ceramic sleeve is equal in either ends. To increase lifetime, the sleeve can be turned 180 degrees. The double cargo lip seal must also be installed correctly. On this cargo pump, the 2 springs on the double cargo lip seal are equal. No spring with red marking, but the groove on the seal must be facing down towards the pump impeller. Check all seal elements, seal grooves, and seal faces carefully. Pay special attention to the Teflon rings and be absolutely sure of no deformation. Never install a damaged O-ring and be sure of no corrosion, cracks, dirt, etc. And remember, use only genuine spare parts. Also pay attention how to fit the retainer ring in right position, at the end of the ceramic sleeve and in position on the splaned shaft. Sequence number 5, pressure testing, test running. After the assembling job is finished, visual check the cargo pump and the cargo tank. No rags or other components must be left in the cargo tank. Pressure test the cargo pump's cofferdam with the 3-bar pressure. The cofferdam must be pressure tested by blinding off the cofferdam vent pipe. Unscrew the complete air relief valve and connect a pressure gauge to the connection. Connect the air-nitrogen connection on top cover plate. Increase the pressure to maximum 3 bar and control that the pressure is stable for approximately 30 minutes. Test run the cargo pump, purge the cofferdam and check that everything is okay. If the hydraulic oil in the cargo pump has been drained during the service job, de-aerate the pump stack through the air venting plug on deck before test running. By following these instructions, you will achieve a long-lasting, well-functioning cargo pumping system and a happy ship for the crew members as well as for the owner.